Hello, everybody, and welcome to Live at 5. It is Wednesday, June 6th, or as I like to think of it, the last Wednesday before the Tony Awards.
That's right.
I'm Beth Stevens.
And I'm Ryan Lee Gilbert.
And we are here with Miss Caitlin Moynihan.
Hey.
And we have an incredible guest today,
He's
don't
just
we?
one of my favorite people. Everyone turn off your phones, please.
Yeah, we're
He's
live.
one of my favorite people ever.
Mine too.
Robin DeJesus is here from the boys in the band.
Yes.
But first, we have our top 5.
Guys, we have some really exciting news. 3 stage alums are coming together to work on a new show.
Yes, a brand new Broadway play, The Lifespan of a Fact, it's called. And it is starring Daniel Radcliffe, Cherry Jones, and Bobby Cannavale. Amazing. Amazing.
That's some good casting
It is
right
based on the true story. It's based on an essay called What Happens There, and it's the story of when a newspaper discovers that its fact checker has been making up stories. Daniel Radcliffe, of course, has been here on the boards a few times, but this is his first original role on Broadway, right?
He's
also won about 1,000 Broadway.com Audience Choice Awards. Cherry Jones is a 2-time Tony winner, and Bobby Cannavale has earned Tony nominations for Mauritius, and The Mother with the Hat.
The mother effer with the hat.
Effer with the hat.
Say it, but we won't say it. We don't want to traumatize our viewers.
I'm going to be sweet out there. This show will begin previews at Studio 54 on September 20th. It'll open on October 18th, and it is playing a limited 16-week engagement through January 13th, 2019.
Wow,
I'm going to be so happy to have Jan Rad back.
And Cherry Jones.
And Cherry Jones and Bobby. All
This
of
is
them.
good casting
Incredible cast.
And we're going to see what comes what may. Does that work? For
Sure. We're going to say yes.
I got extended.
I'm going to say this with my French accent. Moulin Rouge. Moulin
Well
Rouge.
done.
Moulin
Well
Rouge,
done.
pre-Broadway in Boston, has extended, so if you wanted to hop the train.
I love it out there.
So it's originally scheduled to end August 5th. It's going to now end August 19th.
Wow.
This stars a couple of people.
Yeah, a couple of people. You may have heard of them. This guy, Aaron
something. Aaron
Tveit. Yeah. And,
Tony winner Karen Olivo.
Yes, huge stars.
It's at Boston's Emerson Colonial Theater.
Right. It looks beautiful.
And
Yeah.
previews begin on June 27th, and it opens on July 22nd.
Directed by Alex Timbers.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
It's going to be amazing. And guys, the boss is coming to the Tonys.
I mean, he better.
I was going to say, yeah, you better. No, so of course, this is our very first performer announced for the Tony Awards. Of course, we know some of those shows are going to perform. There's probably going to be some surprises, but it is confirmed that Bruce Springsteen will perform on the live telecast. He is also receiving a special Tony Award for his concert engagement, Springsteen on Broadway. The Tonys are happening June 10th, this Sunday. In case you didn't already know that, but you probably do. Sarah Bareilles, Josh Groban hosting. We can't wait.
I just want to say
What do you
one
think he's
thing.
going to do?
I think we should make him, like we have
Yeah,
power.
we'll send him a
I think we
letter.
should make him sing only show tunes. It's just an idea. Let's just throwing it out
I bet
there.
he'd be down for that. No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. Whatever he does, we'll love it.
Yeah.
That's true.
And we got some new casting news about an upcoming play.
Yes, this is a really important upcoming play.
Yeah,
It's
I
To
can't
Kill a
wait
Mockingbird,
for this. Yeah, amazing.
which everyone read in high school or before.
Hopefully.
Or you need to go back. Anyway,
Yeah.
so we have our Boo Radley, Danny Wallahan.
Yes.
Danny, you may have seen in the Low Road at the Public Theater, the patron saint of sea monsters, and more. And Neil Huff, who's currently in The Iceman Cometh, will play Link Dees. And so this is, we already have some casting. Jeff Daniels is Atticus Finch. Celia Keenan Bolger is Scout.
Scout.
We all love
Yes.
Scout. Previews begin on November 1st and opens December 13th at the Schubert Theater. The
The
the big
Schubert
one.
Theater.
The
Yeah.
big one. Tickets go on sale on June 9th.
I can't wait for this.
Yes.
And we found out that 2 new people are going to be waving through a window on tour.
Wow.
You're
You're
doing
back.
it.
There we
back.
go. You just needed, some time to. Yes, 2 newcomers. Jared Goldsmith, who just graduated. He was a 2018 graduate of Elon University. He will be playing Jared Kleinman in the show. And Phoebe Koyabe, who is 17 years old and more talented than
And we're sending her
I
on the
will
road.
ever be. She will be playing Alana Beck in the show. Yes, they join Jessica Phillips and Ben Levi Ross, who are playing Heidi Hansen and Evan Hansen, respectively. And the show kicks off its tour in October in Denver and then headed all over the country. So you'll
That's
get to see
amazing.
these incredible
That's great.
talents. Yes. And that's it.
Well,
for
thank
me.
you for your service, Ryan.
It was my pleasure. Thank
Ms.
you for having
Moynihan,
me.
will you tell us a little bit about Robin DeJesus, please?
My pleasure. Guys, Robin is currently playing Emery in The Boys in the Band. He is a 2-time Tony nominee, and he has been in The Heights, in Rent, in Wicked. He's been in all the good stuff. Some of his film credits include Camp, Hair Branded, Gun Hill Road, and Elliot Loves. Be sure to follow him on social media at Robin de Jesus or Robin of Jesus, and leave your questions in the comments below for him. Everyone, welcome Beth and Robin. Yay.
Hello.
Hi, Robin. Hello to you. I always thought that your Instagram was like Robin of Jesus.
Yeah, Robin of, that's what it is.
Is that how you
That's
do
what
it?
it is, Robin of Jesus.
I think that was an authentic pronunciation.
I was trying to do my
No,
best.
I get
I'm
it.
not-
I
you
get it. For
'cause
my
it's-
indigenous people, I get it. It's fine.
From your indigenous people. But you're from Connecticut. It's
I
all
know.
cool. It's all cool, you guys. Welcome, Robin.
Hi, how you doing?
I love you so much.
Oh, I love you.
Oh,
Please.
okay. First of all, we just have to talk about the Boys in the Band because this is a great production. And this is a play that a lot of people think, I don't know about this play.
Some of us did.
Right?
Mhm.
So what were some of the thoughts that you guys talked about in this amazing cast?
I mean, we did a couple readings of the piece before we started rehearsals for Broadway, and it was really, really interesting because one of the questions someone asked Joe was, why? Like, why do you want to do this now? And they didn't mean that to be a pain. It was genuine. They wanted to hear what Joe's reasoning was.
Right, Joe Mantello.
Joe Mantello, yeah, sorry, thank you. And sociopolitically, sadly, was really, it's really relevant again.
Yeah. It's the 50th
Anniversary.
I just want to say when I said I don't know about this play, I don't mean that it wasn't a groundbreaking play that
Yeah.
Mark Crowley wrote in its time, but there are some stereotypes in there that feel a little wrong to people now.
The play is about this group of 9 gay men who come together for a birthday party in this apartment. 8 gay men, 1 questionable character.
A Q.
Yeah, and in 50 years ago, and so there are certain gay stereotypes throughout. But what's really, really cool is when you go back and read it and you sift through it, you realize that Mart was writing in a really, really nuanced way, and that if you really look in there, if you zoom in on that iPad, there is a lot more going on, and there are ways to justify those stereotypes or to actually realize that they're more layered than you think that they are. And I think that was the difficulty for us, and the fun is figuring out how to justify all of those things. And the piece was really, really hated because it's about a group of men who get drunk and claws come out, and it's really vicious and dark, and there's lots of self-loathing. And I think in 50 years ago, if you were a gay man and this was the only play that existed that represented your group, your culture, your whatever, you kind of felt like, oh, if you're going to represent us like this, you go back. Go back. I think now we have enough content and enough, like, we have a lot of positive resources now.
Yes, that's true.
That we can see the nuance and enjoy the piece as what it is.
And it's a totally outcast and creative team, and that's a special thing. Amazingly, I think it feels groundbreaking in itself.
Yeah. The imagery of seeing 9 gay men, even though I'm a part of it, of course I'm biased, I feel like the imagery of seeing 9 gay men playing gay characters on stage, it feels like an event.
It did. Well, it also feels like an event because this cast is phenomenal. Phenomenal. I'm going to gush at you for a little while. But let's talk about you, Robin. What now? Are you having fun doing this?
I'm having so much fun.
You get to also be sort of the most flamboyant character. So you get to really be out there, and you get to use that range, have fun with that comedy, all kinds of things.
But that is fun now, I have to say.
Yeah.
Because in rehearsals, I didn't trust that because it felt in a weird way like I was in a different play than the rest of the cast.
Oh, that makes sense.
Everyone's in this really, really real, natural place, and I'm performing on my performance, hamming it up. And so my neuroses really, really flared because I didn't know how to trust that. And ultimately, that came to Joe.
Yeah.
Like, I know Joe has really good taste.
True.
I know Joe is a
and you
badass
worked with him
director.
before.
Kinda.
Yeah, well, you
Not
were
really.
Wicked.
I replaced, and he came by and like he gave notes
waved
and
at you.
stuff. But but this was the first time I got to be in the trenches with him.
Yeah, in the rehearsal room.
Yeah, and that was really, really comforting, and that could calm the crazy a little bit. You know. Just
Yeah,
like
tell me how this crazy manifests itself. Let's go deep.
Oh, it was. Listen, I'm not gonna lie. I was worried every second that everyone thought I was bat crazy. Because
You mean your fellow actors?
Everyone.
Or just everybody? Okay.
Because my neuroses during this rehearsal process was the most flared it's ever been. And that was me just not trusting and not really knowing if what I was doing was right. And I wanted it to feel good immediately. And I don't think it was supposed to feel good.
Right,
and
right.
interestingly enough, we got a letter from the original Larry
Luckenbill, yeah.
Yeah, the original Hank, which was really cool, really dope. And in the letter, he mentioned that the first time they ever performed the showcase, he thought, oh, this is going to close. This is really rough. Like, and then there was a line wrapped around for blocks. Then I read an interview with the original Emery, and what was really cool was he said in it, Cliff Gorman, by the way, is the original Emery. And what he said in the interview was that after a couple months in the show, he began to overthink and overanalyze.
So
And
it's just a thing with this show.
it is a thing. And that really helped me calm my crazy.
That's good. Calling it crazy is
and
good.
now it's so much fun.
And also, the original production was in 1968. Unfortunately, a lot of the men in the original production have died of AIDS. I mean, it just is an era where it was affecting people in that community. And now you've got, we're not really, AIDS is still a thing. I'm not saying it's not, but now we're in this era where people are living, and there's a community, and there's pride, and there's just, there's just so much more stuff about it that can make people feel like it's empowering. Which is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it's really fascinating for me. My best friend in 3rd grade was HIV positive. And so HIV was always a part of my life. It was something I was always aware of. And I was that first generation that
You
could
grew
be,
up with it.
I grew up with people who were born with it and lived.
Yeah.
And so it's a really, really different experience for me than it is for other people. But that said, it's really, really interesting to go back to a period where it didn't exist.
Right. No, nothing.
And that doesn't ever play in your subtext at all.
Right.
Although you saw the show, one of the really weird things is that one of the first lines in the show, when Donald walks in, which is Matt Bomer's character, his therapy session was canceled. And Jim Parsons' character says, what happened to him? And he goes, some virus or something.
Right.
And we couldn't help as a group of gay men to be like, ooh.
Virus. But he probably had the flu.
Yeah, that's all it was. It was like Mark didn't predict AIDS.
No. All right. Well, we have a lot of questions, I'm sure, but I want to ask you, looking back, are we ready for an In the Heights reunion concert?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it's been, how long? 10 years? 10 years, really?
10 years.
Has it?
2008, yeah.
And yet we are fresh as a daisy, you and I. We're just totally fresh. No, I mean, are we ready? Are we ready to? I know everyone's scattered. They're busy. They've got Genius Awards. They're doing Moulin Rouge, whatever.
I think everyone would love that. The thing about the In the Heights group is that we love that show so much, and we have so much fun doing it.
Yeah.
That any excuse for us to come back and do it again and watch each other live would be amazing.
Yeah.
Would be. I mean, the 5-year reunion was actually Karen Olivo's idea, and that she tossed over to Lynn, and I think Lynn's dad kind of took over and arranged all of that. I'm actually kind of surprised that we haven't had one, but they've got a lot going on.
I mean, 2018, and we're just in the middle. It's not over yet. We could still do it. I'm just putting it out there.
Who got the money?
That's a good question. Yeah, I have to say, I do watch. Broadway.com was in the recording studio with you guys, and we shot 96,000. It was so much fun. You guys, check it out.
Every now and then someone will tweet that at me and just
Yeah.
remind me of it. I was like, oh,
it just makes us
we
feel
were
that
so
way.
young and full of promise.
Oh, and now we still are. Let's take some questions.
Yeah,
Caitlin.
totally. Maya wants to know, what have you done to make this character your own?
Exist. Well, it's true. Like I feel like compared to the other versions of Emery before, aesthetically, I'm very different. So I have no choice but to be different, but to just be me. There. One of the things that, and I don't know if this is truly answering the question, because I wasn't concerned with, am I sounding different than the original?
Right.
Or
You didn't watch the movie and study it.
Yeah, I didn't set out to be different either. I just set out to be authentic and to be organic. And for me, the big thing was PTSD. Like that was the only way I could think of to connect with being a gay man in that time period. What were the effects of being shamed? And what would be the effects of being emasculated? And then getting to that point of, you've been shamed so much that you're going to do the opposite. You're going to find pride in that. You're going to find joy. And you're like, if I'm going to be a Nelly, I'm going to be the most Nelly person ever, and I'm going to be a fierce Nelly.
Yes, props and all.
Yes, props and all. I won't ruin it if you haven't seen it.
We won't ruin it.
No spoilers, no spoilers. Corinne wants to know, what message do you hope audiences take away after seeing it?
I've said this before. I really hope that, because the piece is older and we think of it as distant. Although I think when you come see the show, you're like, oh, actually, there's a lot of stuff that is
parallels now.
parallels.
But
now,
it's a
absolutely.
period piece, and it has to be.
Yeah, totally. But I think the reminder is with so much happening socio-politically, and we thought we were so much more advanced than we are now. There were all this internalized homophobia and racism that was just laying real low and dormant that is now active again. And I think, if anything, I just hope the piece is a warning that we can't go back to that.
Right.
Because, seeing this group and what was done to them and the effects of that, we really can't afford that right now.
Yeah.
There's too much other stuff that actually matters.
So true.
Yeah.
So true.
Yeah. Some people are wondering if it was like a priority for you personally to be involved in the show with other proud gay men. Was that something
Out and proud.
I didn't seek it.
Did you cast the other part?
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I didn't seek it out, but with my fellow gay men, I do a lot of gay theater. I play a lot of gay characters, and I'm really proud of that. I think for years I felt like, oh man, like I'm just playing gay roles, as if that was this one type. But no one ever says, oh, you only play straight roles.
Right.
There's so much diversity within that.
Well, there are
that
9
group.
different actors playing very different roles. They're all gay guys playing gay guys.
100%.
Yeah.
The spectrum is
And you're not
there.
right for all those roles.
No.
Believe it or not. I mean, you are, but you could be. But actually, let me think about it. I don't know.
I mean, I'd love to do Harold.
I think it'd be a great
Who
Harold.
is she?
Yeah.
Who was she? Who does she hope to be? Zach and I talked about switching roles. I forgot what we were talking about.
We're
now.
just
You're
gonna
totally
have some audition moments right here.
Ryan Murphy.
Yes.
Well, you kind of answered.
I'm sorry. I was watching this and thinking, what is Ryan Murphy going to do with Robin next?
I mean, from your mouth to God's ears, I love and
Or
adore
just to
him.
I mean, it just felt like you're having a moment, and he should be recognizing it from the back of the house.
Oh,
I'm just putting it out there. I'm sorry. Go on, Caitlin.
No, you were totally fine. A lot of people are actually asking if you could play another character in the show. Who would you want to play?
Harold, hands down. I want the
It's-
coat.
yeah.
I want it to cover me. I want
It's
it
a
to be
showboating
fur.
role
Oh,
that Zachary
yeah.
Quinto is doing.
Those one-liners, Zachary's
He
so
sings
good.
them, and I mean, the self-loathing is amazing.
Yeah, yeah,
And he
yeah,
comes
yeah.
in late. It's got that kind of.
Joe used to
Now-
say that for this show, everyone's neuroses has got flair, which is the line of the show, and you have to remember that. And Harold to me is like, his neuroses is his flair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's very good.
That's awesome. And the show has only been like officially open for like a week, if
Yeah.
that, and you're already getting so much positive responses from fans. People want to know, how does that feel? Do you feel like validation? Like, what is that like?
Tell us how good you feel.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what's funny is if Robin 10 years ago could hear what he's about to say, he would vomit.
Oh no.
Oh, please go on.
Yeah, because I used to hate when people said what I'm about to say, but it totally makes sense now.
Oh, boy.
It is so humbling.
Oh boy, you are
It-
so blessed.
Blessed.
Whoa, no, I won't
Hashtag
even say
blessed.
blessed. I won't say blessed. It is so ridiculously humbling because I have been, I feel like in many stages in my career, I have been in the pits. I have been successful. I have been back in the pits after being successful.
Sing, I'm still here for us.
Good times and fun times. But this experience was really, really interesting. Was look at all these really, really great actors who are in all these amazing places in their career, movie stars, TV stars, whatever, Broadway stars, and the common thread in the room was that everyone worked their tails off.
Yeah,
Like
you can tell that it's got that ensemble feel. No one is stepping on anyone else.
Yep.
That kind of thing.
I mean, Matt Bomer, we'd have note sessions, and Matt would be with his notepad, just like listening to everything Joe said. Him, oh, I like that. You know, and you could tell that like, if someone got a certain note, maybe they didn't write it down, but you know they went home that night and they worked on that note.
internalized it, yeah.
Yeah, they everyone did their work, and there's no real way to like quantify talent,
No.
but hard
And yet
work.
here we are, Tony time, trying to do stuff like that. Let's talk about the Tonys for a second.
Yeah.
Okay, you're a 2-time Tony nominee.
Uh-huh.
I wish we had a round of applause, everyone, please.
Hopefully,
For
3.
phenomenal performances in The Heights and La Cage aux Folles. Tell me about your Tony time.
Ooh.
Because this is, it's Tony time, but you guys are kind of sitting it out. You opened past the eligibility, so you didn't have to sort of deal with that tension this year. You can wait till next year if you want. Yeah, so tell me,
I think it's the best thing that could have happened.
It just makes it that much more joyous, I think.
100%, because we get to be present, we get to sit in and just do the show,
Yeah.
and we don't have to worry about all that noise that is.
And the events, and
yeah.
the running to the events. There are many, many events surrounding the Tony Awards.
And the thing is like Tony Awards are so much fun. It's so thrilling.
It's a big party.
It's a big party, and it's when you were a kid, you watched those speeches, those awards, and you felt so moved. But there is this weird double-edged sword too. There's this other thing that happens where it is also a distraction from the true love, which is the work and the craft and showing up and that sense of community every day, and that you get from your building, the theater, the stagehands, the stage managers, directors, the creatives, cast, everyone and everything, and the fans. And so to now be removed from that is, I wish I could always open a show like this.
But then you wouldn't be nominated for more Tonys, which we need you to be. Do you have any great memories you want to share from your time as a nominee?
As a nominee, yeah. So the thing that I think about the most was when In the Heights, when the nominations came out, we were shooting Good Morning America. We were doing It Won't Be Long Now. And it was Karen Olivo, Lin-Manuel, Chris Jackson and Mandy were there because they were doing like little outtakes. Seth Stewart, Ricky Tripp, and Luis Salgado were dancing as well. So we're just like huddled up, getting ready to figure out the shots and stuff. And
you had to get up super early.
You had to get up super early, and we didn't have our phones on us or anything. And I found out there's so much more to the story, but I won't drag this out. But I found out that I was nominated facing the Bubba Gump Shrimp Company, the restaurant that I waited tables at. And that I was miserable. I was literally across the street from it. And to receive this thing that my 23-year-old self wanted more than anything in the world at that time, to receive that news in front of a place that I hated so much, it was like, you did good. I got you.
That's a great story. Yeah. That's amazing. And you brought your mom, didn't you?
I did bring my mom. Yeah.
Both times?
Both times. The second time I brought my mom, my sister, my brother, and my high school choir teacher.
That's amazing.
It was
your high school choir teacher?
Oh, yeah. She's like a second. I have several moms. For Robin, it took a village. It did. And my family is absolutely amazing, but culturally, like, theater is not their thing. They are part of it now because of me, but they don't understand the ritual and the practice and all of what it takes. Mm-hmm. And so there were these other people who did know and who like threw bones at me.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Robin, we got to go, but thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
You're
My pleasure. Always.
Guys, go see the boys in the band if you can get a ticket. Caitlin, will you take us out, please?
Of course. Guys, thanks so much for tuning in to today's Live at 5. We are live at 5 on Facebook every single day. The podcast of today's episode will go up right after this, so take a listen to that. And be sure to tune in tomorrow when we have Jordan Donica from the Tony-nominated show My Fair Lady.